In today's video, I am going to be breaking down Nikola Jokic and his just amazing passes and court vision that he has. Nikola Jokic is a center who could technically be a point guard, who could technically play any position on the court. So let's get down, let's check him out. I think he is the best center right now in the NBA and probably one of the top 2 players right now too. So these passes that he makes are not lucky. He's actually orchestrating all of it. Right here, this layup was all orchestrated by Jokic. Let me explain. So first thing is first, right there, he is telling his teammate what to do. Do a dribble handoff. So then, what basically happens? Well, of course, the defender heard dribble handoff or whatever they were talking about, maybe their play call, and at that point in time, that defender tried to cut off that ability. This offensive player is obviously smart enough to now cut back, because anytime a defender wants to try and cut off your ability to use a DHO or a screen, you need to cut back the opposite direction. Now, he was about to hand off the ball right there. However, instead, that main defender who was guarding Jokic was trying to disrupt that pass, and then, of course, the pass behind that defender. I don't know how he got it by. That was just a fantastic pass. Let's also remember that Nikola Jokic gets a lot of rebounds, and he can also do no-look passes. He's literally looking over here, which makes all these players think that he's looking over there, and when in reality, passes over to a wide-open player for an open dunk. I remember when I was a kid, coaches used to say don't do no-look passes, but guess what? If you can do them successfully, 100% do them. So many players these days watch the Raptors as a good example, where they'll get that rebound and then they'll start dribbling up court right away. That sometimes gets them trapped on from defenses, but Jokic looks down court first, and by doing that, he can see that his teammates are leaking out and can get very quick baskets fast. So anytime you get a defensive rebound, don't just put your head down and dribble right away. Look down court, see who's open, see if there's somebody open for a layup, and if there's the case like that, you can 100% do that. I also really want to point out how perfect this pass was. That almost was perfectly led to his teammate for the dunk. By basically, all you need to do to make this pass, you will not pass to the player, that person himself. What you want to do is to lead that pass. Try to aim for where that player is running to, so that you can make that pass successful. Even off of made baskets, you can do the exact same thing. Remember, you want to try and aim, or at least lead your teammate to the ball. You don't want to be passing behind them. Now, that may have looked like a misplaced pass because that player had to reach back, but he didn't exactly have to reach back all that far. That pass was going towards the backboard anyways, or at least in line with the backboard, which means that it was a perfect pass. Being tall does help with this next one. However, touch passes are very useful. I've used it a few times, and when I was a player and my teammates were not always paying attention. So if you're with a teammate who can pass like Jokic, make sure that you're always ready, because here he has a help side defender who is collapsing in on him. He has his own defender, Ayton, who is trying to stop that basket, and of course he just passes over to his teammate who is cutting baseline along the Russian spot of the court. And by cutting in that area as a teammate, you can get open for a lot of baskets, by the way, off of screen and rolls. So meanwhile, that player was already basically in that spot. If there's a screen and roll that's happening at the point, I'm going to tell you right now, if you are in this position where you're maybe playing the low post, try to get a little bit deeper towards the baseline. This will open up the court a lot more, because now you're pulling your defender down, but also, if that defender moves up to play help, you now are in perfect prime position to be able to get a pass, maybe not a touch pass, but you can get a pass where you can go straight up, don't necessarily bring the ball down. Obviously, he's trying to get as much momentum as possible to get up for a dunk, but at the youth level, you're not going to be probably dunking anyways. But if you can get in position, keep that ball up high, and go up fast, you can definitely get a lot of layups that way. Now, this is probably one of the most riskiest passes that Jokic makes, a cross-court pass from the opposite elbow. Like, this is super risky. I understand why he did it. These players are looking this way, he's looking this way, and their arms are down. If you're a defender, you always want to have your arms literally up so that you can basically block the passing lane so that this would not happen, because I'm going to tell you right now, if his hands were already up, then that pass would have been easily intercepted. He only missed it by maybe 5 inches. So if his hands were already up, like 8 inches higher, he would have been able to block that pass very easily. But of course, if you're a passer, always look for those open lanes when defenders are making mistakes. Touch passes, again, are very useful, and I would suggest learning how to do those. There's really not much there really is to them. All it is if you play volleyball, that's actually a very good sport to learn how to do touch passes like this. Learning volleyball is actually very beneficial to basketball. And now, obviously, football will teach you strength and power, but I actually believe that volleyball is a much better sport to learn basketball from. And let's not forget that Jokic is a 7-foot point guard. Yeah, that's right. 7-foot point guard, dribbling with his head up, looking up, one-hand pass. If he didn't make that pass, he would have been screwed. But basically, that bounce pass is very useful. He bounced it right between these two defenders so that their arms could not reach out to block that pass. And because he is such a great passer, it goes straight up to that player's chest, and of course, for the dunk. Now, I'm not saying that you should be doing passes like this. Yes, one-handed passes are extremely useful, and I teach them to my team that I coach. However, understanding how to use the bounce is very beneficial, and of course, a lot of practice. And I'm going to tell you right now, he is literally making that pass before his teammate Green was even looking. Look at this. Starts the pass, and then finally Green looks and says, oh, hey, I'm going to get a pass. And then, of course, puts his hands up, and again, like right between those two players, literally right at the foot of that defender. And just absolutely amazing. And of course, the best pass I've ever seen him do, and literally the NBA even says it's number one, that is when he's in the low post, he gained a help side defender because he's literally unstoppable in the low post. Whenever that happens and you are a corner player and your man helps out in the low post on the opposite side, I'm going to tell you right now, this is obviously a nice pass from Jokic, but this was only because his teammate is super smart and cut baseline when his man decided to play help defense, which got him an easy 2 points. If you're looking to be a great passer, you don't have to be a point guard. You don't have to be a shooting guard. You don't have to be a center. You can be any position. You can become a great passer. I hope that this video has helped you become a better basketball player. If it has, hit that like button, subscribe, and I'll see you guys again next time.